up, you guys? So today's reading, we are going to be looking at the sun. A lot of times I do these readings and I am following the moon because the moon deals with our hidden emotions. It deals with things that are not just our emotions. It could also be things that we're just overlooking, not seeing. It deals with our passion, our drive, our fire, our thirst, our hunger. You feel what I'm saying? The new moon and the full moon and all of the cycles in between. But when we're dealing with the sun, we're dealing with what guides life. We're dealing with our sustenance on the forefront, right? And so these are the things that we can see. These are the things that some would consider the practical aspects of our actual day-to-day lives. And then the perceptions that we have of our day-to-day lives, and then the people and those storylines in our day-to-day lives. So when we're talking about the idea of like what role we play in each other's stories, or are we the star of our own story, that all comes from sun energy. And then the actual ability to get the shit done and clear out anything that's in the way comes from the moon energy. And so we're going to start doing readings around the sun energy as well. And not just the work. And so a lot of you are naturally dealing with the sun side of your lives and may not even be realizing it. For example, last season we were in Aries season, which I talked about a lot. And you guys do hear me talk about the signs that we're in, and those are based off where the sun is placed. But in Aries season, on the forefront was a lot of excitement and agitation and quick moving things happening, a lot of new starts. Aries is the first sign in the zodiac, so it aligns with that. Taurian energy we came into on April 20th, which was yesterday, and we're going to sit in this energy until May 21st. And so we're kind of looking at, in this reading I'm going to do, how that Taurian energy is going to affect us. Big up all the Taurus out there. Happy season to you guys. Taurian energy is based in the earth sign, the earth element. So we're talking about being grounded. We're talking about the ability to also bring forth sustenance. So we have the sun and the ground working together. When we think about that in a very practical sense, that's how we get our food, right? Like we are putting in the work within the ground, and we're planting the seeds in the ground, and we are doing our due diligence throughout the process. But really, the sun is feeding the plants, and the plants are going through a photosynthesis process in order for them to grow something that we can actually eat and sustain ourselves from. And so that's kind of the idea that we want to be in for Taurus season, especially with it also being the springtime. This is also the time where we want to be planting seeds for things we want to experience. Many of you know that since maybe 2017, we've been doing the Master Manifestor Workshop fairly consistently. I have taken it back over the past couple years and worked with smaller groups for people who want to become certified. But in that, we usually wait till the springtime to kind of kick things off. This is the perfect time for you guys to start implementing the practical steps behind what it is that you want to experience throughout the rest of the year. Really, if you break it down into pieces, you'll be focusing this spring on things you want to experience before the end of summer. And if you take the energy from the summer, you'll be focusing on things you want to experience before the end of fall. And if you focus in fall, it'll be before the end of winter, right? And so this is the season for you to actually be very grounded and practical in how you are going to execute the actual work so that you can reap the rewards of whatever seeds that you intend to plant during this season. Think about the material world and the practicality behind the materialization of things that you envision for yourself. That's what this season is all about. You'll be able to be more disciplined in this season. You'll be able to get a lot more done if you actually align yourself with the frequency. So not only will you be disciplined in being clear about what you want to accomplish and the steps that it's going to take to get there, you'll actually set aside the time and energy to actually get the work done. And so anything that you want to accomplish for yourself, especially if it's something that has felt like a challenge to you, now would be the ideal time to focus on building some sort of structure and security around that so that you can build it and it bring long-term fulfillment, okay? What else I want to talk about with Taurus energy before I get into these cards? Let me think. Let's see. Taurian energy, I already told you guys, deals with the material world. So think like beautification, spring cleaning. You feel what I'm saying? That's a good lock-in for you guys. The earth itself, so connected with nature, maybe bringing more nature into your home if you're not able to just always be outside. So if you're working in an office, bring a plant into your office space, right? Bring plants into your home. That would be a great decision to make as well. What else? Beautification of yourself and your surroundings. So yeah, I feel like that's enough. That's enough information. All right, let's get into this reading because this is quite interesting. It's been a long time of closing timelines and starting new cycles and converging timelines and all of that. And we're going to continue to experience those things as we go throughout 2026. Because that's just what this year is all about. And it's going to happen quickly. We are in the year of the fire horse, as many of you already know. Right after that kicked in for us, many things started to change and very quickly. And I know that for the collective because I work with the collective, right? And I pay attention to what the fuck is going on in the world. And so with that, a lot of these changes, though they are rapid and might be changes that you were not necessarily expecting to unfold in the ways that they have, they are changes. God dang. It's been like this for the past few days with me fumbling on my words. But there have been changes that have led you out of confusion. And so if you have felt stuck, if you have felt trapped or in your mind up until this point about how to do whatever you're supposed to do, when you're supposed to do it, and so on, you're going to be coming out of that. So congratulations to you. That is not an easy space to come out of, being trapped in your head, worrying, overthinking, feeling confused, not knowing which way to go or what to do. When you really have the resources there, you just can't figure out how to take the next step, right? You're coming out of that into taking the next step. You may have to have some difficult realizations in order to do that. Like there may be things that you have had to let go of, people, places, things, patterns, thought processes that have had to go that were not easy to let go of. But Taurian energy is coming through to help you actually accomplish that if you have not done so already. All right. And it's something that you've been wanting to bring forth in your life. That has only been in the ethers, that is actually going to materialize for you, which is going to help you take some sort of action on the next thing. If you've been intending to communicate yourself more effectively, whether that be to another person in your personal life or your love life or in your family, or to a general collective of people. Maybe you want to do a podcast, you have things to say. Maybe it's to your boss and you want a promotion and you need to communicate that. Whatever it is that you need to communicate, you're going to be able to effectively communicate yourself. There's not going to be any mishaps in how your words and brain connect to each other. And I'm grateful for that, because as you guys are listening to me, clearly that's some energy that I need for myself. So I'm excited to be receiving that. And again, we are doing a reading for the season of Taurus, which goes from April 20th to May 21st. So these are things that you can expect to kind of show up for you in the energy as you go throughout the next month, okay? There is a walking away that has happened in the past, as I've already mentioned. If anybody is still having some sort of emotional hangover or confusion or internal turmoil because of that, you're going to find healing. So if there was any sort of grief or sadness tied to walking away from something, you're kind of closing the door on that. And the reason being is because this new stuff that's popping up for you, that's things that you actually want, that are things that you're going to be excited about. So you're going to be filling your time with a lot more of what you do want as opposed to what you don't want. And it's going to happen quickly. Like you got the Ace of Wands and the Two of Wands, the Three of Wands and the Queen of Wands. This is the universe gave me an opportunity. What do they call that? Preparation meets opportunity. I think I'm saying it wrong, but I know y'all know what I mean. And then boom, you can go. Like you've done all the things necessary to get here. And when it happens, it's going to happen for you very quickly. Like, it's like 1, 2, 3, boom. You the queen. Like, oh shit, how the hell did you how did you do that? Like, it went from an idea, a thought that was planted by the Most High that you decided to take action on. And this taking action, people probably didn't even see you doing that, because in these cards that's showing up, this person is behind a wall. This person is in a house. And there's a giant window that they're staring out of, but they're looking out into that window. Nothing is looking back at them but the sky, right? And they're holding on to these wands. They have this globe and they have this picture of a car. Like, they want to travel, but they're really just kind of sitting there looking out the window. And so it's a lot of, you've done all the work necessary. You've looked at the map. You've done all the things with the globe. You've explored it, so on and so forth. You're ready. You got everything you need, and you're just waiting for this thing to show up. Like, all right, I'm ready. And then the thing shows up. And when the thing shows up, like, you show out. Like, I don't know what this thing is, but you're going to blow your own mind with what you do. It's kind of like the you that you have been becoming is going to be realized within yourself in this season. And that's that's big. Ooh, that sounded nice. I like this energy for all of us, okay? Because I too am part of the collective. You feel what I'm saying? So I'll openly receive these messages. Balance and tranquility is coming in for you as well. So if you've had any area of your life, again, we're coming out this fiery energy with the Aries element of fire, and we're going into this more calm, grounded energy with the earth energy from the Taurian vibe. And so there is going to be a leveling out that happens for you that is going to allow you to have a lot more victory and success, and a complete level up. It's going to kind of, people ain't going to like it. I don't know who this is sitting and watching and like, you know what I'm saying? It could be people from your past. They just don't want to see your success. People could be throwing shade at you in the process and intentionally trying to ignore your accomplishments. And that's perfectly fine in this season. That just goes to show who's on what timeline. You are being asked to remain regal, remain stable, remain grounded. Don't go chasing after nothing. Don't go trying to clarify shit. Don't go trying to prove nothing. Like, you just keep doing all the things that you've been doing to get to the point that you're reaching in this season. All right. I think that's it. Peace.